Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. We have an amazing show for everybody today. What do we have, Krystal?
Indeed. Happy Friday, everyone. Great show. We've got Matt Taibbi, great friend of the show, on to talk both about that reporting from the Washington Post on Afghanistan and the way that we have been persistently lied to across multiple administrations about what actually is happening on the ground there, and also to dig into the results of that IG report, what it says about the national security state and the FISA process in particular. Of course, Matt always has great perspective there. We also are going to dig into these election results from across the pond. Saagar and I both have some thoughts there on what it does mean and doesn't mean for American politics. Check that out. And Nate Silver has a new analysis of election fundamentals based on experience, endorsements,
Yang Gang is not going to be happy.
Yeah, we got some thoughts on that one too.
Don't worry.
Yes, indeed.
In the meantime, there will be a vote at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's a little bit before we post this show, but it's before that we're recording it. Currently, basically after a 14-hour meeting yesterday, riveting television, really, in which the Democrats on the House Judiciary Committee announced that the panel would not vote yesterday on whether to take up the Articles of Impeachment and send them to the full House of Representatives. They are going to do that today. So, Krystal, we can expect the final vote at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I'm waiting with bated breath.
I wonder what the outcome will be. More interestingly is not this vote or this procedure or whatever, is actually, I want to know where these moderate Dems vote, because we've been tracking this the entire time, which is there's a core group of maybe 10, maybe 12 people who are just right on the fence of maybe voting to censure, not voting for impeachment. We know it, I think one Democrat, Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey, has said that he will probably won't vote for impeachment, will vote against it. He didn't vote for the inquiry in the first place. There are a lot of people on the edge here. I think it is a huge disaster if 12 Democrats were to basically conflict and not vote for impeachment.
Yeah, I don't think that will happen. Connor Lamb, who's one of these more moderate Democrats, has signaled he will vote for it. But putting that aside, the fact that it's even a question, that it's the Democrats who are in question now, tells you everything you need to know. When's the last time we heard any reporting about, oh, this Republican or that Republican is on the fence? No, the Republicans are consolidated, they're strong. And so, again, this is kind of a media story. All along, they've been feeding you this line that the outcome was in doubt, that when this piece of evidence or that piece of evidence or this witness or that witness or this report or that report came out, when this action, when they finally vote to impeach him, that's when it's going to turn. And it was just never reasonable to think that. I mean, whether you personally support impeachment or not, whether you think he's a good president or a bad president, that was just never a realistic framing of what was actually going on here. There was never any evidence that the outcome was in doubt.
My favorite was when all the reporters were, I think it was like Jeff Flake, who was like, well, if there was a secret ballot, then maybe things, there's going to be a secret ballot. I mean, these people are living in a fantasy land. And
I heard a lot about that secret ballot on my side, by the way.
It is so ironic that at the end of the day, it's the Democrats who are in doubt. The Republicans are rock solid. Mitch McConnell was on Sean Hannity last night. He asked him, will a single Republican cross the aisle? He said, I don't expect a single one to. And this is a man whose job it is to know.
Knows what he's talking about.
And so you know what?
And he doesn't go out on a limb either.
No, he does not. You think he's going to go out on national television on the president's favorite show and say that not a single Republican is going to defect? This is the man who has actually stood up to Trump quite a bit on numbers of votes and all these other things behind the scenes. If he's out there saying it in public, we know exactly how this is going to go down. The Republicans have decided they're going to keep it to a 2-week shorter trial, even though the president wants to call these witnesses. And I
honestly think the fact that they're keeping it to a shorter trial is a gift for Democrats.
It is a huge gift.
Very lucky
it's
for them.
It's going to be a flash in the pan, 2 weeks, and then it's over. A week after impeachment, I guarantee we're not even going to be talking about it. And that just shows you how much of a farce this entire process is. And this is Democratic decline, I have to say. I was talking about this with a friend.
Big D or little d?
Little d, because I don't think that this will be the first impeachment trial that Chief Justice Roberts will be presiding over, right? So in our history, you have 3 times in which the articles were introduced, 2 presidents only were actually impeached, but I don't think this is the first time. I think that we've normalized this process now for the most petty crimes. I mean, if you think back on it, if this had been the standard, the Benghazi crap would have been an impeachable offense.
Iraq War was way more impeachable.
Right. And what did Nancy Pelosi say?
Is.
She said, no, that's not impeachable.
That's not impeachable. We don't want to drag the country through it. No, I think you're right. I think we're at kind of a point of no return. I mean, the counter argument is that probably even if Democrats didn't go through with impeaching him, just from all the talk about it, Republicans would have wielded this when it was back their turn in power. I mean, that is where we are, though, is basically this zero-sum existential battle. Now, one thing that we're hopeful about on this show is that as the future of both of these parties is born, that may actually lead to some more overlap in trade and areas of policy where you could actually see some overlap between the populist left and the populist right. I think that's the best outcome that we can hope for, but in the meantime, it's going to be ugly for a while. It's going to get
worse, but the only people who can make a difference is actually you. You know, is actually showing up, is actually getting involved, is actually, you know, pushing back against the establishments of both parties, because they're the ones who doomed us to this. And so, you know, if you don't do anything, nothing's going to change.
That's the truth. All right, we're going to tell you what's on our radars. That's next.